There we go. That's a little bit better. So this is a wellness toolkit where I have the opportunity to talk to people that are in the holistic space. I am a medical cannabis physician and work with CBD, but CBD and cannabis will not solve all your problems. And so what we do is talk to people that are doing things in the holistic space because you need to have more tools in your wellness toolkit. And today we are with Donelle Watson. First of all, I couldn't be more excited. I'm so happy to share this time with you. He is fantastic. He is artistic. He is the cannabis therapy music guru. Welcome, Donelle. How are you?
What an awesome title. How's it going, Doctor?
Good, very good.
Thanks for having me on
So a little background. I think you're probably one of the first people that I met at the Cleveland School of Cannabis, I would say, right?
That is correct.
Yeah. I think I was like doing my little tour around, and a couple of years later, we're still around there and kicking and trying to create more trouble every day. So
Yeah, it's really interesting perspective. Like you said, you're the first person I was the first person you saw, but
yeah.
just being the first person on board as far as employee at the school, it's been a really interesting trajectory from what I've seen of the industry so far in these last 3-4 years.
Yes, absolutely.
Slow moves in Ohio.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, and just in how it's grown, and like I said, we're still around there, creating trouble and making it happen for students every day. So that's really exciting. But that is not today. That's a talk for another day, right?
Okay, right.
So let's talk about Donelle Watson and Details Music.
All right, yeah. Well, like I said, thank you for having me on this platform, Doc. So I'm Donelle Watson, Cleveland. Born and raised. I have a very very musically inclined family. Always been around music. Music was my first love. Piano, played that for several years. Still play. Details was just actually, so I'll say Donelle just, I'm always been part of music. It's in my blood. But Details Music was just born out of two different things. Obviously, music, K for the funk, but Details was a nickname my mother created for me, or she used to call me when I was a kid because of overly detailed sometimes. So that's where I stuck, and just my music in a sense.
But that's a gift too, right? I mean, and you utilize that in every day. And if I hadn't made it clear, today we're talking about healing music, right? And frequencies, and Donelle is ahead of the curve on this one. And so Details comes out of the fact that that's a gift that you have, right? And tell us how you went from having this really musical inclined family to getting into a space of not only performing and doing music, but doing music that is meant for a healing purpose.
Yeah, that's a great question. So yeah, like I said, a lot of my influences and music is just everything that compiles in my senses. So just everything around me, is my inspiration. And I've been doing music for a while. I started real young, like a young age with the piano, like I said. Teenager, I started experimenting with more, technological things. I went to, school a little bit for audio engineering. So learned a lot of the technical frequencies, audio signal processing, all that type of stuff with music in general. So that just grew as I grew with music. Learned different things, played in church, played for different bands, worked with different local artists. So really kept it, mostly at home, for most of my, adult life, as far as I said, music. But yeah, getting to, how I got into healing, I always made different music for different people, is because I feel like I have a gift that when people come to me and have different ideas for music or songs, I can take that and turn it into, music. So they can I can take whatever they hear and turn it into music. But with relaxation music, it's always been kind of my corner of music. Always made that like music that I would like to hear or I like to listen to, and without knowing, just been helping with healing my own self, on
Sure.
daily basis of different things, going on in life or just life in general. But just letting other people hear it there and there, and just people hearing it when I listen to it saying, wow, that's really relaxing, where can I get that, all that type of thing, that you started the motor running and thinking like, wow, if it can help me, it can help other people.
Right.
And that's when the deep dive into, learning about how music, different type of ways that tones heal you, frequencies, brain waves, all that type of stuff, all nerdy neurological stuff.
Yeah, no, but I mean, it's important because I think what it really comes down to is that we live in a time, and I think some ways we're pulling away from this, but we've been very pharmacologically focused for so long, right? That synthetic medications came in, plant-based and natural medication was demonized, right? And I think in some ways we're coming back around, and people are not only looking for the possibilities of plant-based and natural medicines, but they're also looking at these other ways of healing.
Right.
And healing from the inside is not just what we eat, which is very important, and what we take in, but also what we're hearing, and how that can have effect on your health and your healing and your relaxation. And if you can decrease your stress, if
Yeah.
you can get that right frequency going,
Yeah.
to kind of align your internal frequencies, and stop me if I'm wrong, because I'm
No,
just kind of going with it,
yeah.
then you have that possibility of making a difference in your health, right?
Yeah, you're the doctor. Remember that. So yeah, whatever you say, it's true. Yeah, you're.
So tell me a little bit about, like, just tell, and we will listen to music in a little bit, people. So if you're wondering, where's the good stuff, just hold on for a second and we'll get there. But tell me a little bit, like you said, you're talking about relaxation music, but are we talking about frequencies or beats, or how sound waves, like what
Yeah.
area do you tend to gravitate to?
So, like I said, it started off like with just general relaxation, and that could be, anything. That could be soft music, that could be jazz, that could be just, piano solo playing. It could be anything. But when I really started to like go dig a little deeper, I started studying different like tones, or solfeggio tones, which those are considered healing frequencies, like different things with like singing bowls, those just
Yeah.
different ways tones affect the auditory stimulation. So
Right.
like what you mentioned as far as like binaural beats
Hmm.
or sound waves, frequencies, those all are considered auditory stimulation. So I started studying, like going in deep, how that works,
Right.
and how it works with your brain waves and oscillations and the delta and alpha waves. But binaural beats, let's just stick with that one, which is kind of like one of the one that's kind of popular right now. A
Yeah.
lot of
Yeah.
people are talking about binaural beats is basically two different tones at two different pitches,
Okay.
and so you can't achieve this without doing having both ears encapsulated or listening through both ears.
Right.
That's basically the
So do
reason
you have to have headphones? Is that what you mean?
you
Or
got,
can you do it?
yeah, you can. So with that particular exercise,
Hmm.
you should have headphones to enhance the effect. But you don't have to have headphones. You can
Okay.
listen to it, through regular transducer means or whatever.
Sure, sure.
Like
And
speaker.
so do you kind of experiment in all these different areas? Do you have a favorite that you kind of do more work in?
Yeah, so I do like binaural beats, but I've been working and I'm working on for when for my website, I'm working for on a building of 528 hertz, the 528, the love hertz,
Right.
building that a
Yeah.
library particularly for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's what I'm working on that series. I'm also working on a retune series. So that's basically it's a lot of music based with general music. It's tuned to a particular hertz that American music is kind of tuned to. I won't get into too many details, but
Sure.
I'm going to be taking the healing tones, solfeggio tones, and reworking those to make them into more healing, seeing how they compare with the regular music to healing music without
Sure, sure,
taking
absolutely.
taking it from one frequency to another, basically.
So this frequency 528, and I think before we came on air, I was explaining that, I got like a random Facebook message. Have you heard of frequency 528? I didn't know what they were talking about, right?
Mhm.
And I just happened to have my headphones on. I just Google it, just having no idea what this was, right? And was blown away about how the stress started to melt.
Yes.
And I'm kind of a hard nut to crack. Like I'm kind of I'm a little
Really?
I'm a little difficult,
Skeptical.
right? I'm a little type A. I'll say it. You don't have to say it, right?
Okay.
I kind of critique and overanalyze just about everything. And
Yeah.
so when I heard this coming through the headphones, I was like, wait, so if I can melt away within, a short period of time, this has got to be something for other people as well, right?
Definitely.
So when it comes to frequency 520, like what has been your experience either personally or what you've seen with other people?
So I see a lot of different comments, obviously, on different people that use 528 hertz and their music. But my personal experience with 528, it's definitely has been a use for me as far as bringing me back to a center of clarity. Obviously, with the 528, they say there's different miracles, love, all that's created. Um,
Hmm.
it's always helped me in a sense, in that sense of building a sort of sense of unity, in a sense,
Sure.
bringing
Yeah.
a kind of bringing it back to a homeostasis, in a sense.
Absolutely. And then honestly, if we're talking about cannabis and if we're talking about CBD, we're talking about balance and homeostasis,
Exactly.
and that's kind of synonymous with that at all times, right?
Right, right.
And so yeah, I've seen frequency 528 listed as love music. I've seen it listed as healing music,
Mhm.
but basically you
Cell
saying that is that
repair.
homeostasis, I think that's even better. That's a
Yeah.
better
So
description.
and it's also listed for cell repair, DNA,
Mhm.
repair, all those different things, like for sickness, like you said, uh,
Mhm.
those different things. So I haven't used it yet in that sense. For like, if I was sick, I don't get sick that often,
Mhm.
but that would be another experiment way to use it. I use it most of the time just during meditation purposes,
Sure.
and just different frequencies during meditation, because you can use a combination, and like what we are going to talk about with how CBD um, definitely can help boost both of those, um, that feeling, and that actual what you're trying to achieve, cognitive effect.
Absolutely. So is there, and I'm kind of thinking this out with you.
Mhm.
My first thought is this should be utilized. So you go to the doctor, you go to your therapist, and I think some therapists are getting more into this area, right? But let's say, let's assume that, you go to your doctor, the idea that you have anywhere from thyroid disease to diabetes to, like you said, cancer, needing cell repair, Alzheimer. Like, I don't know what wouldn't benefit from this. That instead of me just giving you these pills, I should be giving you these pills
Right.
and this soundtrack, maybe.
Right, right, right.
Right?
How could it, how could you basically, how would it, not, how would it hurt you, in this
Yeah.
sense, but there's definitely been a lot of studies towards, how music and different frequencies can help with cell repair. I mean, different papers registered and
Sure.
published. So yeah, it's started, but it's a lot of anecdotal also
It is.
evidence. So
Yeah.
that's it. That's where we're at, and also with cannabis, that's the blend, or I guess the rise for both of them at the same time.
Hmm.
So now with more more regulation, and with cannabis industry, now we can probably have more studies with that link,
Absolutely.
even
I
with the
like to think
plants.
we're ahead of the game though. That
Yeah,
with cannabis and CBD being just on the brink of, I mean, there's so much research out there. I hate it when they say there's little.
yeah,
There's a lot of it's not huge randomized clinical trials. We have some, but we don't have as much as we should. But
that's right.
is there research? Yes, there's small trials all the time all over the world, and that should not be dismissed. But I like to think that we're not in the space, because obviously we're both in the cannabis and CBD space, that it's not so much that we're delving into an area that has little research. I just like to think that we're ahead of the game and being active people that are helping others get into a space that when research follows, they're already ahead of it, right?
Right.
So yeah, we're not playing games here. We're just ahead of everybody else. So
Yeah, I agree. I think the technology is on the brink of a whole new world, like, especially with, people like Elon Musk with the charge, just the things that are being done frequency wise, light therapy wise, all that is, like with sanitation now. Like I also own a sanitation company, me and my wife, and like we do things with the for COVID sanitizing. So that's used to ultraviolet fogging or different techniques with fogging. But now they're coming up with technology to where it's kind of like UV light rays. You sanitize a whole area. I'm pretty sure you've seen small pieces at like Walmart or or Walgreens, those little sanitizing device UV rays. So it's just world changing, through technology.
Absolutely. So were you into that before COVID, or did that rise out of COVID?
So part of that rise out of COVID, I actually have like over 10 years of experience with cleaning services. I worked for a larger cleaning services back when I was younger, but I've always, I never used that on my resume until, now in a sense, so it just was actually, it worked at this period of time because, it's needed, during this time to help people out.
Absolutely. It's a huge part of it.
And at one point in
So,
time, the government was, giving money for people to get it done, so.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because we didn't know we're still trying to figure out what we're doing, right?
Yeah.
But that was the one piece that we know we needed desperately.
Yeah.
So if someone wanted, whether they're a musician or what have you, wanted to get into the space that you're in, wanted to get into the healing music space, and we'll get into your music in a minute here and how people might be able to obtain some of that or use it for their yoga classes or what have you. But if there was a musician that wanted to get into this healing music space, what suggestions, what would you advise them to do?
I definitely would say, do your research, do a little, digging, on it, definitely if you're getting into this space, then obviously you have some creativity already, as a musician. Just, focus yourself with a lot of positive energy around yourself, just to enhance what you can about your learning. And obviously, if you can, use cannabis while
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
doing it,
absolutely.
So,
So let's talk about that and then we'll start listening. So clearly I'm a CTR and I'm recommending medical cannabis and CBD every day to people. And like I said, I want people to have more tools in their toolkit, right? So when we're talking about cannabis or CBD and healing frequencies,
mhm.
definitely there's a relationship there, right? And that it can enhance that experience. Like tell me your thoughts on that, or what you've seen with this.
Yeah, so just so far from what I'm still learning
Mhm.
about CBD. What we're all still learning about CBD,
Sure.
and even with Delta 8, and I think we had talked about this briefly before.
Yeah.
Just the different ways that it can help you with that homeostasis for that endocannabinoid system that
Sure.
everyone has, and how music influences your brain waves, and how they can kind of meet in the middle, somewhere, and boost for different reasons, things like pain management, different things like when you want to be more creative, even energy, just different ways. I always think of it like a vitamin in a sense, because your vitamin, you're gonna get what your body is taking, what it needs, and
Sure.
so everybody's experience is different, through their own endocannabinoid system. So how it works together can be infinite at this point, but those
Right.
are some of the things that I've immediately seen, like, people with pain management, music has been proven to help with that too, so it can help. That's one of the reasons I've seen in general, just with people with, like you say, cancer patients or different neurologic pain.
Sure, absolutely. So the one thing I'm thinking about in particular, CBD being a great muscle relaxant, right?
Yeah,
CBD being great for anxiety, THC
right.
obviously being even being more synergistic and making that kick in even more. That the healing properties, you have to be attuned and willing and open, right? And that I think cannabis allows you to get into that space a little bit easier, less, maybe a little bit more uninhibited, and
Yes.
allowing that to kind of enter and do the work that you're hoping that for it to do.
Yeah, it
So,
definitely makes a difference being open, like especially for like first time users.
mhm,
That makes a difference having that music, just that kind of that area, that essence or ambiance, or in a sense that
right,
calms you to get you ready, like you said,
yeah.
for the experience, or or getting
Right.
in.
And break down those barriers, right? We
Yeah.
got barriers that we're walking around with every day
Oh
just
yeah.
to kind of survive. And
Yes.
then allowing that CBD or cannabis to come in to kind of melt some of those barriers so the music actually penetrates. And that's the difference. One thing to hear with your ears,
Yes.
it's another thing to hear with your entire soul and your body and the whole thing. And that's a different experience, right?
Yeah, music has a really special ability to enter and sense a person's soul
Yes.
without permission. It's the only
Yeah.
thing, because you can
Yeah.
talk to somebody their ear off, but music, everybody understands. It's a universal language.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And how it can kind of open your heart and you know, send you to places that you had never intended. So,
Yeah, I learned that part from playing church music for years. It's like,
yeah.
oh yeah, it's just you can influence, just by different tones, different, ways you play, different styles of playing, so it's definitely, interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. So why don't we do what we came here for, right?
Mhm.
And get a little bit into these healing tones. I'm going to share a screen. And so we're going to go to your YouTube page
Yeah.
where you particularly have some of this listed up. So let me make sure I'm going to the right space. And okay. So if you're seeing this here, we're going to Relaxation 528. Is that right?
Yeah, so this is an introduction. This is a newly recreated page because, like I said, with my website, it's right here and right now. I'm rebranding, so the construction, so it's reconstruction right now. So
Sure.
part of this YouTube page is going to be part of what's going to be on this my new website, and with the this page, the relaxation. A lot of people, write. Um, Basically like what it's supposed to do for you, which can
Hmm.
kind of draw a placebo effect in
Hmm.
a sense for this, type of some of the misconceptions of healing music, that kind of thing. But that's why I write a little poetry. I write poetry too. So I just write a little poem, just to kind of set whatever mood I was
That
in,
kind of open up their mind a little
just to
bit.
open up your mind a little bit. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and do this.
Mhm.
Oh, so is that what's look? No, that's not what's here.
Yeah, that's what's down there.
Very good. Okay, well, let's take a minute here.
So it's a little bit, it's long. I just put little
Yes.
images in there to go along with it.
No, I love that.
It's a lot more to come, like I said, with different frequencies. And um, yeah, I'm just working on that. I'm glad I'm talking to you about this with the CBD
Sure.
and the connection with the music. Like, so, because I can't, really do any, recommendation on that end. So,
Yeah.
but just as far as, what, like building a database of what works together, and for me, just to that
Absolutely.
I can share that. So
Yeah. And it takes, like I said, it's every tool, right? It's being able to bring all of that together to make a difference.
right, right, and so everybody does it, with binaural beats or with different auditory stimulations. Some people use just the simple tone, and play that for 10 minutes. Some people use it with different other tones. Some people have a whole track behind it. It's just, what do you want to sample? Do you want, just the basic cheeseburger, or you want the whole meal?
Yeah,
That's the
absolutely.
type of thing. It's preference, but you're still getting, that tone across the board, in the music. So
No, I think that's beautiful.
yeah.
Absolutely. And it's like I said, it can be so penetrating, right? And kind of like hit you at your core.
Yeah, and that's when I with other music I've done with relaxation music and even experimental music, just experiment with different things. It's just you can it's so much different technology now. Like they even have devices that you can wear that you can feel the music.
Mm-hmm.
So haptic devices, all that type of thing.
Very
So
good.
technology is making us be aware different different ways of music. So being able to feel different music a different way.
Absolutely. So is this in frequency 528?
Yeah.
Is this, yeah,
Yes, but it's also music playing around it. So you're getting the
playing around? I
tone.
see. So is that the tone that I'm hearing?
You're hearing the tone, but you're also hearing
The
um
music on
like
top
a
of that.
piano. There's a piano on top of it, which is playing in the key around for five. It's playing at 528 hertz.
Very good. I love it. I love it. Okay.
So the whole thing is tuned to 528.
Yeah, very good. All right, so I'm going to stop this here, and I want people to know how to connect with you. So, and just a few comments. Music is therapy, so that's popping up here. A lot of people saying hi as well,
Okay.
and
My Facebook, I
yeah,
wasn't able to connect it. I didn't see
yeah,
it.
no, but you can connect it afterwards, and so
Okay.
and then share it at that time. And
Okay.
another person, I lived my entire life by this song. A lot of people saying hi as well. Yeah. Oh, that's kind of playing in the background there. So, okay, so I'm going to stop share and we're going to go over to the slides.
Okay.
And
That's weird.
yeah, I know, right? And I think so people know how to connect with you. So we'll go here. And hopefully you're seeing the slides here. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, very good. All right. So obviously the wellness toolkit. Oh, I thought I changed this.
Yeah.
All right. And so tell them how they can connect with you if they want to know more about healing music.
Yeah, so definitely email right now is the best way, and through my YouTube page. Obviously, I'll be posting a lot more music upcoming. But yeah, my details music page will be re-releasing that soon with a lot more new content.
Mm-hmm. And
So
then
also
the
my number
YouTube page
listening.
is Details Music, correct? With a K? Okay.
Yes. Yep.
All right.
That's my
And
number. You can call me on.
yeah, and the number as well, if you saw that on there as well. And we did just took a listen to the music there. And then tell us about your social media.
Yeah, so I'm on Facebook, which I'll also be, double posting, triple posting for Instagram, any of my new material, and hopefully merchandise coming up.
Yeah, very good. I love that. Yeah, and people should follow and really.
Yeah, please follow.
This is
Yeah.
in a time where there can be so much negativity and so uncertainty. Utilizing this, letting this mix into your daily life is a way to maintain balance, right?
Yes.
And like I said, we talk about cannabis, we talk about CBD. Integrating this into that is a way to maintain your balance. And what better way to do it than someone that's local, right? Right here out of Cleveland, Ohio, and you're passionate about it. And so, I think that's hard to deny.
Also, just one more bit. I'm also on Clubhouse too.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
you
go
good?
ahead. Yeah.
Sorry.
No. I have a thing for that. But that's how I found out that you were doing this. So for as long as I've known you and known of you, no idea any of this was happening. But then I went on Clubhouse and I saw your bio and I was like, who is this? Like, I had to double check, right? So I'm excited about the fact that we can connect and offer this to other people and hopefully give some exposure there as well. Of course,
Yeah.
About Green Harvest Health, and our focus is helping you reclaim your wellness. So we have 3 offices, one in Cleveland out in Broadview Heights. We have on the west side of Columbus as well as in Pickerington. more on the east side, and reach out to us, and if you're looking for medical cannabis cards, if you're looking for CBD consults, which I've done more and more of those most recently, because people want to be able to utilize these things well. And I think the idea of having what you do integrated into what we do is key. So I want to find ways to offer that to people and give them that exposure. And as you come out with music, let's kind of integrate that, because I want my patients to have more tools.
Definitely, definitely.
Absolutely. And if you're looking for CBD to add to your experience and you're listening, we provide 35% off, which is probably one of our best deals. So just put it in green 35 when you go to greenharvesthealthcbd.com. And we have some really exciting new products coming out soon. So definitely keep a watch on what we're doing. And if you're also watching today, we will give a discount on your medical cannabis card. For $190. And so just say that you were watching the Wellness Toolkit and we had Donelle Watson on, and you can get that discount.
I'll share it.
Yeah, absolutely. And then become one of our CBD partners. We're spending more and more time in the space, whether you're selling it directly, being an affiliate, you're taking orders and we fulfill that order. We have distribution partners, brand ambassadors. We also do white labeling. So you have your own story and you want your own brand, or we do custom product formulation as well. So reach out to us, go to Dr. Bridget at greenharvest.health, and we'll see how you can be one of our CBD partners. As well as all of this started with me really wanting to do life coaching, and I wanted to integrate cannabis into it. So if you're wanting to know more about that, go to drbridgetmd.com and learn about how I spend time trying to help people find their balance in other ways. And then as far as upcoming, tell us about the Clubhouse. So does everyone know what Clubhouse is? Should we start there, or?
Yeah, maybe to explain that, what Clubhouse is to people, because you keep telling them how you found me on there.
Yeah, exactly. So the Clubhouse is an app that is what I like to say in beta version right now, right? Because you have to have an invitation to get on there.
Yes.
But it's kind of like live podcasting. There's no visuals. Everything is audio talks and classes and discussions. You follow people and you follow the discussions and talks, and you can participate and you can do your own. And it's every walk of life of all sorts of different types of subjects. So find someone to get you an invitation and tell us what you're doing on there.
Yeah, so it's such a, it's starting to be a huge platform, and a lot of networking connections, like different people, like all walks of life, like you said, celebrities are on there. Actually had a conversation with Jim Brown's daughter the other day about, something that's, she wanted to do. So it's just a lot of different people on that platform. But what I'm going to do, since, I have my own voice on this, as well, I'm going to start this series called Stasis Sessions, like we were talking about homeostasis, where it's just going to be, music playing, some of my music playing, there's any type of music playing, just, for people, it's like you said, it's a lot of connecting and talking.
Sure.
So people need a place to just take a break,
I love that, because I'll be honest, after talking all day, I'm not really trying to talk to anybody. Now I have some Clubhouse things coming up myself, but at the end of the day, the idea of like coming on here and listening to some music of all different types would be fantastic. So you said that's starting February 15th. Yes. Should people then reach out to friend you to be able to find this?
Yes. So yeah, if you're on Clubhouse, also if you're not on Clubhouse and you think you might want to get on Clubhouse, you can also hit me up. Might have some invites or access to invites. It's always invites on Reddit. But yeah. So yeah, you want to follow me, Details Music, once you get on the Clubhouse. And
all right, very good. Stasis Sessions. I love it. Absolutely love it. Yeah. That's fantastic.
Thank you.
And then as far as me, tomorrow morning, I am live with Barbara Beckley, who is a life coach and is a comedian, and she's amazing. And it's called The Diamond Factor, and it should be streaming live on Facebook. Go to Barbara Beckley or go to the Diamond Factor experience to find us. And I'm excited because I think it'll be a lot of fun to talk about all of it: cannabis, CBD, life coaching, craziness, so it'll be a lot of fun to do that tomorrow morning. And I'm doing a clubhouse called the V in CBD. It's a women's health talk. You can figure out what the V is for yourself. But I'm talking with Mary Johnson of Vitamin Candy LLC, and we're gonna talk about a lot of stuff. So definitely look for that on Clubhouse. And if you are not on Clubhouse, she'll be doing the Wellness Toolkit, where we'll be having that same discussion on February 4th. And we do this on YouTube. So it's a way, if you don't find us on Green Harvest Health, look for the Wellness Toolkit on YouTube as well. And I think I went through the topics and messages that people left on here already. So Donelle, wait, you know what you don't know? You're the first guy that I've had on the show.
Hey, do I get a prize?
So I'm so excited to do this with you. I would love to do more of your music as it comes out and just have you back and just talk about how this can be so healing. The music that we heard was fantastic. I'm going to listen to it some more when we're done here tonight. But thank you. Thanks for doing this. And
thank you for having me. I mean,
absolutely.
it's I'll be back, anytime you want me, I can come back, as a more music as we release and more, as we learn about, the connection between the two, and who knows what's next, everything now, got a VR craze right now. So, the possibilities can be endless,
Absolutely. Absolutely. And like I said, I want to incorporate it into our practice as well. So we'll talk some more, but have a good night. Thank you for watching, everybody, and watching the Wellness Toolkit.
All right. Follow me. Thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'll call you in a minute.